Are you going to Scarborough Fair?
How do you look nonchalant?
Well, you sort of get your
Parsley,
non-shelter.
sage, rosemary and thyme. Remember me to the
Working on something now?
one who lives there.
You are.
For he once was a true love of mine. Tell him to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa, I'm the owner and the dyer behind Ivy and Lilly Yarns. I'm a small batch dyer, it's a small business, and I thought I would bring my business to you, share it with you online, share with you how I run it. Mostly I'm going to be filming from Scarborough here in North Yorkshire on the coast where it's always freezing cold. Some of the time I'm going to be coming to you from my boat. I have a little narrow boat, no, not little, it's 50 foot, it's not at all little. I have a narrow boat. Bank holiday Monday, I went to the boat for the weekend and we went off to the Yorkshire Dales and found two beautiful knitting shops.
A chilled out and sunny Saturday morning at the marina, and I'm on my way round to narrowboat Oleana to say a quick hello and goodbye to Pip and Mick before they set off on their narrowboating adventures once again, including Tilly. We then head off to the Yorkshire Dales for the day. Most ports are on the coast, but Gaul is 50 miles inland, making it the most inland port in the UK. It's not as busy as it once was. These days it has an overall industrial and slightly barren feel. Swapping industrial Gaul for the breathtaking Yorkshire Dales, we arrive in Reeth around an hour and a half later, a beautiful and scenic drive across the country. We park up on the village green. Reeth is not only a tourist attraction, but a perfect place for walkers to begin their walks through the Dales. And I head straight to the Arts Centre, to not one, but two woolly shops right next door to each other. This time I'd called ahead to check the Threshing barn was going to be open, as the last time I was there it had been closed and I found myself pressing my nose up against the window to try and see inside. The shop is delicious, full to the brim with a huge selection of fibre goodies. It was lovely to meet Janet, who happened to be testing out the new arrival of an electric e-spinner.
So that is so cute.
Do you know what to do with your feet? Do you know what to do with your feet? Are they pedalling onto the table anyway?
Well, you can actually get a foot... They come with a foot treadle. So you can actually operate them off a foot treadle if you do miss having something to do with your feet.
Do you find the consistency of your yarn is smoother because the wheel is at that steady pace?
Constant pace, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can increase the speed. And it's got, forward and a reverse. And it comes with a lazy Kate and 6 big bobbins. So it's really...
And
could go up a little bit speed-wise.
You've just got stock of these in, have you?
Yeah.
That's good. Full of boxes everywhere. Some more down there.
All up there. Look up at the top. And more in the cupboard. Oh, they're everywhere.
So how much are they?
These are $3.05.
Oh, that's good.
But the small one, the little mini nano wheels, they are $135.
What's the difference?
Size. This
Right.
one is 4 times as big. The other one is quite tiny. And these will run off these are 12 volts, so they run off a 12 volt battery pack. Literally, they arrived. They've been in 2 days, so I've only spun that little bit. So once it's had more oil and grease on it and it's been used a bit more, they get a bit quieter, they get run in. All the fields of buttercups and all the wild flowers, the lady smocks and things, so that tumbles down all over the rocks and the waterfalls. Community garden.
That's beautiful.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, rainbow.
And this one,
Sophisticated rainbow.
this one is sunset over Reeth. Get to see silver stars.
Oh.
Yorkshire sheep, which is Swaledale, Massam, Teeswater, I think, and Wensleydale, I think. So it's all the Yorkshire breeds of sheep.
What are they blended with?
They're all mixtures. Some are pure Shetland, some are Blueface Leicester, some are Merinos. Some have got the River Swale has sea in. That's the moor, the heather upon the moors, and so they're all. Oh, I've just had this lovely collection. Red for cranberries and the blue for the blue in Wensleydale cheese.
So these are British wool. This is what's that with some
Wensleydale is more premium.
They're quite hard wearing yarns anyway, aren't they?
They
strong.
are, yes. What people are doing, they're tending to shift from Wensleydale over to Massam because Wensleydale's so expensive.
Isn't Massam a Wensleydale mix?
It's the base of to create a Wensleydale, so it's mixed with the Blueface
Leicester. Yeah. So going back to the sheep to breed the sheep, it's the Blueface Leicester and the Wensleydale mix to get the Massam.
No, the other way around. The Massam crossed with Blueface Leicester, is it?
A happy Lisa, we head back to the market town of Gaul, which is situated on the banks of the River Ouse and at the start of the Aaron Calder Canal. It's not long before we're back at the marina and finally at the boat for the rest of the bank holiday weekend.
So this was the awesome yarn I bought in the Dales. 475 grams of Massam, spelt M-A-S-H-A-M, not pronounced Masham, it's Massam. 75% Massam, 25% Wensleydale. It's a strong wool, there's no nylon in it, but it's a strong solid wool with it has got a little bit of a bite. For the month of June, I'm going to be dyeing this 475 grams of Massam and Wensleydale mix. I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to put it into 100 gram skeins once I've dyed it, but there'll be 475 grams of this on offer. This was great. This is like a bleached white cotton. Now, cotton, as you knitters and dyers will know, is a whole new ball game. It's a whole different set of dyes. And last year I was dyeing Nike socks for a big company and plan on doing some things like ice dyeing, definitely dyeing cotton. In fact, I did ice dye some cotton. I'll just get that for you. So this is the cotton I ice dyed. Very, very random. I have absolutely no control over how the dye distributes onto the... I'm going to be filming some ice dyeing because it's such fun, so interesting. Yeah, it's lovely. Make a great hat that for the summer. I love cotton. There's such a beautiful shine to it. There's only one skein of it. It was just a one-off. But yeah, it's 100 grams. Could do a hat. Be cool. For ages. I have a sock knitting machine. Whilst practicing, I just kept cranking out tubes and they just sat as tubes. And I've decided, because I don't like works in progress, I don't like having stuff unfinished. So this is the month where I'm going to finish off just on a full section on socks and realise the video wasn't on. Let's do that again. This month, the socks I've made and finished are these. Now, these actually pulled, as you can see, and I managed to get the pulling underfoot. So all you're going to see here when I wear them is like a nice stripe, really, a nice unintentional stripe that's formed. Socks and sandals is my thing, so I shall be looking forward to wearing these very much with my Birkenstocks, open-toe Birkenstocks. Here's another tube I cranked out. Toes and cuffs nearly finished. I actually wanted to do pale pink contrast with these, but I didn't think I had enough pink. So I candy striped it, and then I found more pink. So I'm going to pop an afterthought heel in here, and I'm just going to do that in pink. What we've got here is the white at the top and the bottom is the waist yarn. That will eventually be pulled out, and this will be turned into cuffs, and this will be turned into toes, and somewhere here we'll pop in an afterthought heel. And I thought I would use that as the contrast, toes and heels for those. What else have we got? Have a bit of a mad tube here going on. Okay. And I'm going to pop in black rib cuffs and afterthought heel on those. This will keep me busy till next month, and I shall have them all ready to show you. Putting pressure on myself to do that is a good thing. So if you're interested in what I'm wearing, this is the Corona Camisol by Kristen TenDyke, and it's a pay-for pattern that I bought on Ravelry. It's knitted in the round, so it's not too traumatic. It's not... It eased me back into jumpers because I'm so used to knitting socks and hats and shawls and easier things. But yeah, it's just knitted as a tube with a series of drop stitches here at the end and the I-cord straps. Really easy, really fun. I knitted it in the first lockdown, nothing to do with the title. It was just ironic that it was called Corona Camisol. I think she actually produced this pattern. Oh, where does it say? It came out something like 2000 and... yeah, spring 2010, so just coincidence. I'm a small batch dyer, and I dye once a month, so I'm going to bring you in on the process of the dyeing of the wool, see it all at the end. That's the end result. That was the month of May's wool that's about to go into the shop, and I've done a little dyeing video as part of this vlog.
Here it is. So I'm just sorting out all the different yarn bases that are going to be dyed. I individually separate them by using reusable plastic ties to stop each of the skeins from getting tangled in the process. I soaked the yarn in plain tap water to wet it thoroughly, and so there were no dry spots before I put them into the cold dye bath. This was the month of pastel shades layered with speckles. I mixed the blue dye and tested that the pale shade of blue was what I wanted. I then lowered the first skein into the dye bath, and after half an hour soaking in the cold water, I added the vinegar and turned on the heat. I was going to be testing a new to me way of speckling, so I prepared 3 different colours, adding some citric acid crystals, which will act as a fixant for the dye to the yarn. I protect myself by wearing a Moldex half-face particulate mask, gloves and an apron. All the equipment you see is dedicated to dyeing yarn and is never used to prepare food. This was my new speckling tool to try out. A small sieve with a spring-loaded dome lid top, so in theory the dye powders and citric acid could be controlled and contained. Here are the results of the way the dye was distributed, and here's the finished damp yarn. The wetter the yarn, the more the dye powder will spread. I haven't shown how I set the speckles, but I steam them for a further 15 minutes and then let them cool right off before I rinse them out. As you can see, there is only a fraction of magenta colour bleed, and eventually the water runs clear. Using neat dye powder causes intense speckling, and the colours break. The outcome is a vibrant array of colours. Next, we're doing a blue tonal in a cold water dye bath. There was some vinegar left from the first batch, so the colour took up immediately, and as I added more blue, it layered on, causing darker spots. I heated the water for around 15 minutes, but not much setting time was needed. See how clear the water is? Ready for another batch of speckling. Again, the yarn was only damp. As the wetter the yarn, the more the speckles would have spread. In theory, this domed sieve should have helped spread the dye powder and crystals evenly, but that just wasn't the case. The dye particles were much smaller than the crystals and fell through the sieve first. I was left shaking the sieve like a maraca, trying to distribute what dye was left. It was quite messy, and I suspect I was just spreading the crystals towards the end. It didn't give me the control I thought it would. Also, the crystals were too big for the holes. I won't be using that method again. Next, we've got some greens. Here's the yarn setting in a hot dye bath, and a close-up shows all the speckles can clearly be seen. To finish off with, I put some BFL in clear hot water, adding what was left of the mixed dyes to create a lovely pastel rainbow yarn.
Bamboo Mix Yarns. Speckled. The speckles aren't really, really sharp. They just kind of merge in a little bit, but you can see them. Here's another one. That was okay. Same colours, just in different order. There's a lot of olive in that one. Yeah, I mixed the olive in with blues. It was all about the blues this month. I decided when I looked at my yarn stock, I didn't have any blue at all. So although it started with blue, I couldn't just stand there and dye heaps of blue yarn. I got a bit, there is some blue yarn there. Can you see it? We'll get to that. Bringing this to you virtually is one thing, but the one thing you can't do is feel it. And for me, it's taken over from merino. It is beautiful. I am going to be doing a lot more with this BFL and Bamboo Mix yarn. Here's some of the blues coming up. So this is a merino with nebs, little kind of cotton, or yeah, little cotton neps. Oh yes, neps. Lots of colours in there, blues, greens. Again, there is olive in there. Some fuchsia pink. Same thing, just maybe a little bit lighter. And this is a one-off. This is a DK. It's a double knit. Speckles look awesome. Can you see them? I do still love merino. I know I've just said the BFL has taken over from the merino, but I do still love the merino. It speckles just beautifully. So this is a high twist superwash 75 merino, 25 nylon. So great for socks. I like these 100 grams in 20s. They're very versatile. First of all, there's no chance of any of that of pooling, and it's something I try and steer away from, is pooling, and I try and design all my yarns so they're going to knit up and give you a consistent pattern rather than blocks of patterns. But with the 20 grams, you get that chance to mix them all up and you're not really going to get any pooling. And again, we're going green here, going khaki, and I was thinking for the men, for socks and hats, it's your khakis and browns. Gold, beige, subtle, nice for men's socks. Again, 20 grams, bundles. Last but not least, these are the green minis. They're the 10 gram skeins, and there's 50 grams here. Whenever I dye yarn, I throw some minis in at the end to soak up whatever's left, and they're just a bit of fun. So all the wool you've seen in the video today is available online. I'm a small batch dyer, so there's not that much of it. I keep recipes, so I can always dye anything you want. This month has been about Blueface Leicester and bamboo. It's been about texture and different yarn bases with the same colours just to see the results. It's been fun. Next month will be something very different. It always is. Look forward to seeing you again next month. I'm off to London and I'm hoping to go to Loop and film some stuff for you there. Beautiful, beautiful yarn store. Yeah, hasn't been too bad for me. No, can't say that, can I? I've loved it. I can't say that either. It's difficult, but it's fun. So we'll see you again very soon. Bye!